Hello, friends. Welcome to the replay of Love for Your Immune System. I am so excited to be sharing this with everybody today. If you are watching live and you guys have questions, be sure that in the chat box, you preface it with question in all caps. And when we get to the Q&A at the end, I'll be sure to answer those. We'll stop the recording before then. So feel free to ask whatever you want. It won't be posted on YouTube and Rumble and all of that. So let's jump right on in because I know many of you are here and are busy and on a lunch break, some of you. So let's get moving. All right, let me get my screen share going here. I have my slides to help keep me focused. We are going for a 30-minute before Q&A time. I'm also going to start my timer so I have an idea of where we're at. Stay right on track. Okay, ready? Here we go. Love for your immune system. Friends, this is a topic, especially the last 2 years, that I've had a whole lot of questions about. I've seen a whole lot of information about, some good information, some crazy information. We're not going to use the terminology that a lot of the media uses with other kinds of information. So, friends, today, you guys know that I am not a he said, she said, so-and-so expert says this person says this. If it goes against how God designed our bodies, or if it doesn't function with God's design, if it goes against his principles, then we're going to look somewhere else. And some things aren't necessarily, oh, that's against a principle, but maybe it just doesn't jive as much as something else could. So we're going to talk about all of that today. And as we get started, I want you to make sure that you're ready. Do you have your coffee or tea with you? I'm sipping some tea. We have a winter storm coming in today. So I have a cup of Earl Grey tea as it's a little cloudy outside. Do you have a pen and paper or your screenshot fingers ready? Okay, and then if you have an essential oil nearby, grab it. Maybe rosemary, clarity, thieves in the spirit of immune things. For me, I have clarity that I put on right before, but I'm going to put some more on. Help me stay on track. And then I have Valor right next to me too, because I use Valor before. Ooh, my 30's getting low. I use Valor before every call. It's a secret I have every class. Anytime I teach, anytime I do anything, Valor goes on my wrist beforehand and the back of my neck. Because otherwise I have a tendency to just kind of go everywhere. All right, you guys ready? I'm ready. Whoops. Moving forward, here is your disclaimer. This information is for educational purposes only. It is not intended to diagnose, treat, or prevent any disease. I am not a doctor. I am not giving you medical advice. I recommend you go speak to your doctor. An educated professional would be fantastic, who knows you knows your medical history and knows your body. I don't. This is educational information only. All right, we good? Good. So that said, let's talk about God's design just a little bit here. You were created to heal, friends. Remember this, to heal, and your body is constantly working toward that state. So we are not talking about treating disease states. Like I just said in the disclaimer, this is not intended to treat. We're not talking about treating things in the body. We are focused on God's design, and we are focused on supporting God's design. If you have not seen the last month's video, the first monthly wellness call that we started. So last month in January, we talked about reframing wellness. If you have not watched that video, don't worry, you don't need to close out of this one, unless you're watching the replay. If you're watching the replay, you could go ahead and pause here, go back and watch Reframing Wellness, and then come back and finish this, or watch this all the way through, go watch Reframing Wellness, and then come back and rewatch this. And I think it will really help you in understanding a lot of the basics, because we don't have time to go back through all of those things, but we're going to touch on some of them. So we are focused on supporting God's design. We're not looking at treating things or symptoms or anything like that. We recognize that everything works together in our bodies. We're going to focus on foundations today. not getting distracted and chasing this thing, this symptom, or this way of going over here. And, oh, what if I take this one supplement or do this? Okay, we're going to focus on foundations and keeping those solid, because as long as your foundations are solid, your body is created to heal. Your body, if you are feeding that foundation, will do its job. It will, if you are feeding that foundation, the immune system will function as God created it to function. So speaking of foundations, nutrition is always going to come first. Now, I picked this picture on purpose. Most people don't see red meat on a plate when they're watching a health presentation, especially these days, right? We think, oh no, we need to run, it's all plant-based, all vegetarian as much as possible, only white meats, right? Like anybody, that was anyone and anybody at the same time. Anyone else? That's the way that we've kind of been taught to think about nutrition. And it's just not what we see in scripture. It's not what I've seen even in practice of friends who have gone down that road. Personally, I went down that route because I thought that was the healthy route for a long time. My energy tanked, my hormones got messed up, so many things, because we need balance. Everybody is different. You are bio-individual. The foods that you need for your body are going to be slightly different, but you must have a solid foundation of nutrition. You cannot out oil or out supplement poor food choices. So you cannot just decide that you are going to go buy all of these supplements, continue to live however you want to live with food choices, as well as some other things we're going to talk about here in a little bit. And then just those supplements are supposed to magically do something, or the essential oils are supposed to magically like stop something from happening or make something happen. And friends, that's not how supplements or oils work. Okay, they are supporting your body. They are doing something in your body, but they can't overcome other choices, right? This is a holistic picture that we're looking at. Now, when I say nutrition, I am talking about nourishing foods, food that God designed, not food that man designed. Okay, so when I say, look at there's red meat on this picture, right? You see that there. There is a cream-based sauce in this picture. Whoa, yes, I'm not telling you you need to avoid dairy unless you have a dairy allergy, then avoid dairy, okay? However, what I want you to start paying attention to when you're thinking of nutrition is this something that God created, or is it something that man created? So is this a frankenfood that isn't really a food, it's a food-like product because it's got so many chemicals in it, or it's genetically modified, which is different than hybridized, and has other, sorry, trying to keep an eye on my time, and has other genomes and DNA and stuff that have been like spliced in there, right? We don't want that. Our bodies don't know what to do with these food-like products that God didn't design. They don't know what to do with chemical fertilizers that are sprayed all over our food. They can't break it down. They weren't designed to break that down. So we really want to look at foods God designed. Animal foods are fantastic so long as they are eating what God designed them to eat. They are cared for in that way. So cows should be eating grass, not corn, not soy, not candy with wrappers on, which yes, happens in conventional feed plots. Is that not crazy? When I learned that, my head about exploded. Okay, the reason I have my timer so I don't go on a huge rant on one slide, which I could do. But nutrition can be its own presentation. This is about supporting your immune system, which means you need that foundation, okay? If you don't have that foundation of eating well, good for you fats, good for you proteins, good for you carbohydrates, then your body will be out of whack and your immune system cannot function, okay? So loving your immune system well starts with nutrition first. Then, moving on from there, supplements then act as extra support. Okay, supplements, like I said, you can't out supplement a bad diet, but you also can't just ignore them and think, oh, I'm getting everything in my diet. Because the reality is, in the fallen, sinful world that we live in today, and just in the day and age where we live, our soil is crazy depleted. So the naturally occurring minerals that were usually in their soil, for most people's soil, it's not there. Most of the food we're getting, if you're buying most of your food from the grocery store, then you have lost a whole lot of nutrition because a lot of it is picked before it is ripe. The produce is picked early and then it's flash ripened or it's got colors added to it. All of these different things to make it look appetizing. And that's why a lot of vegetables don't really taste that good from the store. People think they don't like certain vegetables and they get them straight from a garden. And they're like, whoa, wait, that tastes different. So they're lacking nutrients. Now, obviously, if you pick an apple over the processed, trying not to call out a specific brand right now, gross high fructose corn syrup added applesauce, the apple is going to be a better choice for more nutrition than your applesauce is, even if it's from the store. Your even better choice would be straight from an orchard. But if you don't have that option, obviously make the choices that are easiest, I guess, the best choices available to you at the time. There we go. But you will need to add some extra supplements on top of that to ensure that you're getting the nutrition, because our body's also the extra stress that we're under, all sorts of things. We need more than we used to need. Now, there is a difference between supplements short-term and supplements long-term. And I want to clarify that because there are some that are great to take long-term and daily. And then there are others that really can be thrown out of balance when you're taking those long-term. So my daily go-tos, friends, I've been doing these for years now. 1, antioxidants. You need extra antioxidants in your diet because, like I said, the extra stress we're under these days, the radiation that we're exposed to with, try not to say a trigger word that'll get me on the replay upload, the new cell towers that are coming in, those kind of things add extra stress to our body, and we need, that's extra free radicals then that are produced. So we need more antioxidants to counterbalance those free radicals and really protect our cells. My absolute favorite, hands down, daily must-have is Ninja Red. Friends, if you are not taking Ninja Red yet every day, if you're not drinking it, or at least a couple times a week at minimum, if that's what your budget allows, is 3 times a week you take 1 ounce, amazing. That's better than nothing. Don't let the every day and hopefully building up to 2 ounces every day, 2 to 4 ounces, don't let that stand in the way, that perfection mindset of you actually getting started. Okay, so Ninja is your whole body nutrient infusion. This has the base of the wolfberry in it, and the wolfberry is in particular grown in Ningxia, which is a former province of China. It's an autonomous zone at this time. And Ningxia is, the Yellow River runs right through there. And it's a very clean portion of the Yellow River with really, really rich mineral content. In fact, the richest in the world. And that then ends up into the soil where these wolfberries grow, helping to increase the mineral content of these particular wolfberries. So that is the base of Ninja Red. And if you've ever looked at a bottle, you can see the puree of that wolfberry in there is about 1/3 to 1/2 of the bottle. So there is a large amount in there. It's not some cheapo juice and, whatever, but this is going to support every system in your body, the immune system being one of them, but it's going to love on your cells. This is a cellular support system. And if you don't have healthy cells, your immune system cannot function properly. So you want to really focus on healthy cell function. We're not zeroing in on one system, though we're talking about loving that system. Like we've talked about in Reframing Wellness, you cannot separate all of your systems and be like, here's my digestive system and it not impact your immune system. Here's my, skin, I can never say it right without looking at the words. That's a fun fact. Augmentary, is that right? system. I don't have it in front of me, but your skin, that can't function properly if your digestive system isn't functioning properly, right? So all of these things work together. God designed them all to work together. Okay, Ninja. Amazing. It tastes awesome. It's so easy. If you don't love the taste of it when you start, I promise you, take it for a week and you will. It's your body adjusting to all of the nutrients and things that are in there, but you can always mix it like with some sparkling apple cider or sparkling water, or just put it in a shot glass and take it real quick if you need to, if you don't love the taste of it. But I promise you, friends, Ninja is amazing flavor over time. I don't know anybody that's taken it for more than a week and consistently and then not liked it. I just don't. Maybe they're out there. It's possible, but I haven't met anybody. All right, moving on. So you have Ninja every day. Every day I take Ninja. I notice that when I don't take it, my immune system doesn't feel as loved. My other systems don't feel as loved. I feel off. Okay. Then Sulfurzyme would be my number 2. Again, cellular health. We're looking at supporting cellular health. Sulfurzyme has MSM as the base. Now, a lot of people go out to the store and just take MSM and they are throwing their money down the drain because MSM has to have amino acids in conjunction with it in order for your body to absorb it. So Young Living knows this. Young Living took MSM and the Ninja wolfberry, that wolfberry we were just talking about, which has a complete amino acid profile. Yes, I know. Go do yourself a favor. Go to pubmed.gov and go type in wolfberry. Ninja wolfberry or Lycium barbara is the barbarum. I'll put it in the description box below and type it in the chat box when we finish. I'll look it up. But look that up in PubMed. Just, I can't tell you what all the studies are out there. Just look it up. Sulfurzyme, so it's got that Ninja wolfberry with it. The MSM then in the Sulfurzyme is your body's precursor to glutathione. Glutathione is your body's master detoxifier. So what this is going to do is it's going to help bind to toxins and pull them out. If, again, referring back to the Reframing Wellness, we talked about nutrients and blockers and how your body, there's things that we need to add to help support our body and then things that we need to eliminate because they're blockers and they're blocking healing and blocking the natural function of your body. And we want to help pull some of those out. And so that is where Sulfurzyme really comes in, is super beneficial. So I actually mix that in with my Ninja as a red drink. It's fantastic. There's a powder and there's also a capsule form. They're very, very similar. The capsule just does not have the stevia or the prebiotics with it, but they're both good. I like both of them. All right, minerals. We are, most of us, mineral deficient in our society, right? And I see certain minerals right now getting called out extra attention, right? So we're hearing about things like zinc. We're hearing about antioxidants like quercetin. We're hearing about, what was the third one? Vitamins that are actually technically hormones like vitamin D. Okay, but friends, when we are looking at these things, those are isolates, right? So you have vitamin D on its own, short term, can be very helpful. Of course, you want to make sure you've got the appropriate sourced vitamin D and that it is really actually nourishing your body and not something that's going to harm your body. Different topic, different time. But without vitamin A, vitamin D can actually lower your immune system. Quercetin, taken on its own as an antioxidant, separate from how it occurs in nature, short term can be helpful for certain things. Long term, it can, there are studies that show that it can negatively impact your thyroid because it throws off a balance. Zinc, on its own, it is a mineral, right? So there is zinc in mineral essence. There is zinc naturally occurring in a lot of things, actually in the Ninja wolfberry. There is zinc in many of our foods, many of our supplements. However, if you take zinc by itself, that depletes copper in your body. And again, sometimes short term, you might need that extra zinc really fast. Short term, different story. Long term, if you're taking it every single day as part of your just daily protocol, day in and day out on its own, it can throw off your balance. Now, this is not to call out those things. What I'm trying to bring attention to is that you need these things in balance. So they're whole food forms, or they're a formulation where they know these things need to be together. God worked or designed them all to work together. Okay, so Mineral Essence has a full spectrum of minerals that all work together to help bring balance to the body. Whereas taking one singular then will deplete another. Make sense? Makes sense. So that's why I'm a big fan of Mineral Essence. And there's some great salts out there like Redmond Real Salt, which is taken from the Great Salt Lake. Fun fact, so is Mineral Essence, also taken from the Great Salt Lake in Utah. The Celtic sea salt is fantastic. Every batch is tested for mineral content. So all of these things are a great way to just boost your daily mineral content to begin with. Eating food that's rich in the soil is also, like, that's grown in rich soil is also a great way to help with that too. Then, so Sulfurzyme is a daily go-to for me, Mineral Essence, Super B. Now, notice I did not say B12. I did not say B6. I did not say, right? This is a B complex. Again, spectrum, the full spectrum in the balance so that one doesn't throw off the other. I love me some Super B. So great. Omega Gies is also fantastic for loving on your immune system. Now, technically, this should have a little number 3, like to the power of 3 kind of. Omega Gies 3 is up there in, I couldn't figure out how to do it on this slide, but Omega Gies is vitamin D3, it is coenzyme Q10, and it is fish oil all together. So you're getting a balance, you're not separating one out. Excuse me, super, super helpful together. Then Super C, I prefer the chewables over Super C tablets. And the reason that I go for the chewables personally is they're all in, it's a different formulation. One, I love the taste. I don't know, there's just something fun about a chewable vitamin that reminds me of childhood. But it also is fantastic for whole food based supplementation. So it's using like aronia cherry and things in there. Your, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the rest of the naturally occurring vitamin C's right now. They're all the really good ones that are in Super C. So that's my go-to on a daily basis. But we also want to remember that immune love for your immune system is not just a physical thing. We are a whole being. We talked about this in depth with the Reframing Wellness. You are body, soul, and spirit. One part affects the other. Emotional health is super important, being sure that you have good emotional health. If there are some stuck emotions or some toxic emotions, unforgiveness or bitterness or anything you need to work through that. That is loving your immune system. Then spiritual health, of course, super important. If you're stuck in any sin patterns, taking those before the Lord. These are all things that impact our physical health. Quality of sleep you're getting. I'll be the first one to admit that's my struggling point is sleep. Not actually sleeping, just getting myself to sleep. Then stress levels, monitoring your stress levels. Are you just constantly on the go and never resting, or do you have good work rest rhythms? And then evaluating toxins in your environment really play a part in immunity. So if you have a lot of things that are causing inflammation in your body, that's going to suppress your immune system as well. So we're back to daily wellness habits. Friends, health is simple. You're going to hear me say a lot of things that overlap in all of these calls. And that's because health really is simple. It's the way we think about it and the way we've kind of like separated things out, we've overcomplicated it. It's actually very simple. So when you're looking at developing your wellness habits, you want to look at adding one nutrient, and I'm not talking about a nutrient like vitamin or mineral nutrient or protein, but I'm talking about in the reframing wellness, things that are beneficial for your health. Okay, so a habit that's going to add to your health, like a nutrient adds to your body, and then eliminating a blocker. So these are allowing your body to do what it was created to do. So that blocker, maybe adding that nutrient is maybe you do need some good quality meats in your diet because you haven't been eating those, and maybe you've been kind of just getting whatever's conventional at the grocery store. So maybe you are working on getting some local grass-fed, pasture-raised meats. Maybe that's the nutrient. Maybe it's your sleep cycles have been off, and maybe your nutrient right now, your daily habit that you're adding is good sleep and focusing on that. Maybe it's eliminating a blocker. So maybe you still use chemical cleaners in your house that really cause inflammation in your body and respiratory stress and suppress the immune system and all of those things. Maybe it's switching that out for Thieves Household Cleaner. Do you see where like you pick one thing, get that habit down, then eliminate and repeat? Okay, very, very simple. Then those are long-term things. Then sometimes on the short term, your immune system needs a little bit of extra love. You feel yourself teetering on that wellness line, then you might need to give your immune system a little bit extra love, support your body a little bit more. The go-tos I reach for are garlic and Life 9, Inner Defense, really working on building that microbiome and taking care of that microbiome so that the body can do its thing. ImmuPro is fantastic short term, Thieves Vitality, Oregano Vitality, Thyme Vitality, Lemon Vitality, all things that are going to really support that immune system and the microbiome balance. And then detox baths. Oh, I love detox baths. If you've never done a detox bath, there's lots of different ways to do them. I actually alternate what I put in mine every time, but you're wanting to eliminate those blockers, right? So not just adding nutrients, even when your immune system needs extra love, you got to eliminate some blockers, help it, because it needs a little extra help in eliminating usually when it's, teetering on that line. So I'll throw in baking soda or apple cider vinegar or bentonite clay or pink Himalayan salt, some Epsom salts, some essential oils, mix those into the Epsom salts always. If you're putting oils in a bath, don't just dump them straight on the hot water because then they sit on top of the water and you get in and you burn your skin. So if you mix them with the Epsom salts, then they mix in with that and then they dissolve and disperse throughout the water. So all of those different things are fantastic ways to support your body when it needs extra love. And then, friends, stay plugged in so that you are continuing to get support. Because if you try to do this and just walk through this life and aren't being intentional, then it's so easy to get pulled into the whims of the world, right? If we're not focused, it's very easy to hear something the world says, jump into fear, jump into whatever emotion, or, oh, maybe that way really is better, instead of praying and asking the Lord, where do I need to go? What do I need to focus on? And so, friend, I am here to help empower you, encourage you, continue to bring you education, the ways that you can stay plugged in. If you are not yet following me on YouTube or Rumble and subscribed there, go over to your platform of choice, YouTube or Rumble or both. If you're like me and you want a backup for everybody that's on both, I kind of have subscriptions to both places. They're free, so why not? You can find me at Amanda Faye Willis on both of those platforms. It's really the only social I'm active on these days. Then you can join my newsletter list. If you have not yet joined, the Pillars of Biblical Health opt-in is free. It's fantastic. There's also one for women and their cycles. But the Pillars of Biblical Health one is great. Just make sure that you select continue to receive information on biblical health and not just please just send me my opt-in, or else you won't get the updates because you'll just get an opt-in and then I don't send you more emails after that. because you selected that option. So if you want the option to continue to get information and education into your inbox, information on future calls, the dates and times and numbers and all of that, be sure you're subscribed to the newsletter list. And if you do not yet have Young Living essential oils in your home, friends, let me help you. First of all, reach out to the person who invited you to this call. So if somebody invited you and said, hey, please come watch this, why don't you join me? I think this might be beneficial for you. Then reach out to that person if they're a Young Living member and or brand partner. Sorry, we're changing terminology. Let them help you get started and get the products that you need. But if I am your friend who invited you, or you stumbled upon this on YouTube or Rumble and you don't have anybody to help you, I would be happy to help you get the tools that you need, the tools we talked about in this video, any other tools. It is all about, I see it as my job to help you get what you need, not for me to tell you what you need. So if you have questions and you want to talk through what you're currently walking through wellness-wise, what your family's walking through, and you need help trying to figure out what would be most beneficial for you, or maybe you're on a budget and you want to figure out what would give you the most bang for your buck, let's chat, friends. Reach out to me. If you know, hey, I want Ninja Red, I need to get some of that. I don't know why I haven't gotten it before. If you're already a customer, just go order it. If you're not yet a customer, then go to youngliving.com. And when you're checking out, put my referral ID in there. That will get you linked with me, which makes sure that I get to take care of you. Okay. I would love to take care of you. So 290-1349 is my referral number. You can always, the link is also in the description below. So all right, this is me at a Young Living farm. The last time I was there, 3 years ago. I'm so excited to go again this year, but thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video replay. If you're watching the replay, for joining us on the call live, if you are here live. And I just want to say thank you. I appreciate your time. I know we are all very busy. If I can answer any questions for you, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask them. I would be happy to point you in the right direction if I don't know the answer. And thank you for joining me on this journey. It's a privilege to be here and to know you guys and get to share with you. So have a fantastic rest of your day. If you are on live, we are now going to go ahead and jump to Q&A. So let me pause my screen share and I'm going to stop the recording.